let's talk about all I do is win, no matter what.
Oh, man. Kobe, let's set it up. Kobe and Lynn played this past Friday, and like Bo was saying, and like I completely agree with, I think it's safe to say that everybody is trying to watch Jeremy Lin play basketball, Bo.
Ooh, it's Tebow mania all over again. Jeremy Lin has played in 5 basketball games, Big Red. And
I think what they're calling it in New York is Linsanity, baby.
Oh, Linsanity? That's what it's called?
That's it, baby.
I like it. Well, Linsanity has taken over the world just as Tebow did. I mean, in his first 5 games, he has 109 points, Big Red.
109 points. Now, I'm pretty sure that's a record. I'll need to get back to you on that one. But I'm almost 100% sure that is a record.
Since the NBA
started the merger. Right, yes, exactly. Lynn has had the record for first 5 games, with 4 of those being starts. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how Lynn is being looked at amongst the other superstars in the NBA. On Friday, or no, it was on Thursday, I believe, Kobe Bryant was asked about Linsanity, and Kobe completely brushed it off and had no clue, and acted as if he had no clue what the media was talking about. Now, Bo, are you buying what Kobe's selling right there? Do you really think that he doesn't pay attention to Linsanity? Well, he definitely does now.
He does now after
Lynn
he
dropped
got
38
outscored by
Linsanity, baby. Yes.
Now, listen though, I think I'm not really buying that, because you got to look at the 3 games previous to that. Lynn was putting up 20 and 8 and shooting over 50%.
You're telling me Kobe Bryant doesn't watch Sports Center? Yeah, right, man. I
mean, we were here on the show on Friday talking about Melo and the All-Star game in the Knicks, and you mentioned, and this was before they played the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. You mentioned about Linsanity then, and I wasn't all about it, but now I definitely am.
Jeremy Lin has just splashed onto the scene, and people were scrutinizing his previous wins against teams like, because he started off, Linsanity began with wins over teams like Utah, Washington, and Minnesota.
Yeah.
No, I think it was New Jersey, actually, now that I think about it.
T-Wolves, he just played recently and still had 20 points.
So what I'm saying is, all those wins he had were considered by some to be fluke wins because he wasn't playing high-talent teams, and it really came up being a big point that Linsanity is truly taking off, especially after that win over the Los Angeles Lakers this past Friday night.
I mean, when you look at the Knicks as a whole, they've won 5 games in a row, and I think that puts them at, let me check their record real fast, that puts them at 13 and 15, so that means they were 8 and 15 without Lynn playing, and they got 5 in a row wins, and that's without Melo and Amari.
Now, what do you think's going to happen when Lynn has to play with Melo and Amari?
And that is an interesting point, Big Red. I don't know.
Because Amari and Melo, for those of you listeners out there, are dominant ball handlers. They need to have the rock in their hands in order to win, which is the reason why I didn't understand why Melo and Amari felt it would be a good decision to go play for head basketball coach Mike D'Antoni, because D'Antoni's offense is evolved around the point guard.
Right.
If you think about the Suns, when D'Antoni was with Phoenix with Steve Nash and Amari, the reason why Amari was so successful was because the lane is open in D'Antoni's offense, and it makes for Jeremy Lin and Steve Nash types to cut through the lane and give assists to guys like Amari cutting to the basket.
Yeah, and I think like you just said, that's what the Knicks need to try to do when they get their stars back, is kind of go to that Suns offense, with Lin at the point and run a lot of ball screens with Amari.
I think they should be able to do that, run some high pick and rolls with Amari.
Right, and have a good 2-man game with Lin and Amari. And then give Melo every 4 possessions, let him do his thing.
And then Melo will, Melo's a spot-up jumper. He likes to shoot the jam a lot. So I think that, ideally, the Knicks have been needing a fast, quick, willing to assist point guard. And I know if you look at it, last year people were all excited about Chauncey Billups, but Chauncey doesn't, I don't think, have the motor to do what Mike D'Antoni needed him to do. And I think Lin is keeping D'Antoni his job if he keeps playing this way for the rest of the season. I don't know about the rest of the year, but if the Knicks prove they can win in the NBA with Lin at the point running D'Antoni's offense, since D'Antoni's offense is so high-powered around the point guard, I think D'Antoni might have himself a good situation growing in New York at the MSG.
Oh, yeah, if the wins are coming, you're staying, and all they do is Lin so far. 5 in a row with Lin playing those 5
games. Linsanity is
games.
taking over. It has made it from... Lin played 37 minutes and had 38 points this past week against the Los Angeles Lakers. He had 7 assists, but Bo, here's something to look at where you can kind of see his young self coming out or his inexperience. He had 6 turnovers against the Lakers from a point guard spot. Ideally, you don't want that, but you know he's really trying to do everything he can to win. So I think D'Antoni's not upset, and I think when you're dropping 38 points and have 7 assists, I think people aren't too worried about the 6 turnovers when I'm sure they were turnovers, and from what I saw, they were turnovers just from him trying to do big things with the basketball in his hands.
Yeah, that's going to happen obviously with inexperience, but that's kind of how D'Antoni's offense has been. You know, with the Suns, it's a fast-paced offense.
Right,
You're going to have
run and
turnovers.
gun, baby, run and gun.
Yeah, and as long as you can get those assists to cancel out the turnovers, you know, ideally you want a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in that type of offense, and I think you're really straight. But I think he's fine, and we will see coming up. And now people are watching Lynn like they watch Tebow, and that's what's crazy about it.
Right, now what do you think? Obviously people were appealed to Tim Tebow because he was such a good guy, he's a stand-up guy, he really did everything right, he works hard, he does all that. Now what do you think, since people don't have as much background information on Lynn? I mean, we all know, well, in case you didn't know, Lynn did spend time with Golden State. With the Golden State Warriors, he was cut. He spent time with the Houston Rockets, he was cut. He went to the Knicks, and then he was with the Knicks D-League team in Michigan. And I think something that needs to be noticed is that Lynn he's been sleeping on friends' couches. He's been doing whatever he can just to survive in the National Basketball Association. And I think another thing that Lynn does that people relate to him and Tebow is that he's kind of just that underdog role right now that's showing that you don't have to be going into the league with all kinds of hype in order to be successful.
Yeah, and I think it's just ultimately a real feel-good story, Big Red, in Jeremy Lin.
And as we know, America, we love feel-good stories.
Oh yeah,
America. All right.
Coming from Harvard, I mean, there's only 4 players ever to play in the NBA from Harvard, and what Jeremy Lin is doing right now is he's playing team ball, and
right.
I think a big part of it all too is that he's not he doesn't look like a normal basketball player star that you would see.
He's from Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I was listening to ESPN radio last night. They had some people calling in that the only reason why people are interested in Jeremy Lin is because they think that his big reason why he's successful or why he's getting so much attention is because he's Asian. But he's from America. He was born in America.
Yeah.
And I know the lady who was on SportsCenter last night was really giving the guy some lip in terms of that phone call, because we have Asian players in the NBA right now. So you can't just blame the success story of Lin on the fact that he's Asian. I'm not buying that.
Well, obviously, no, you can't buy that. I mean, this guy, like I said, 109 points in his first 5 games, and hopefully he can keep it going. It's not luck how this has happened.
Right.
It's his skill, because luck could be 2 or 3 games.
Right.
Not 5 games, big.
Right. Absolutely, 5 games. I mean, that's a hot streak.
I'm not saying he's going to keep.
He's not going to score 40 points a game. Obviously,
no.
He's not Kobe Bryant in his prime right now. But he's going to. I have a feeling, and Bo and I will back me on this. We both feel that Jeremy Lin's progress and productivity rate will stay high, because apparently this is just how the young man plays. He was a big-time scorer at Harvard, so I don't think the NBA, the speed of the game really affects him that much, and I think it gives it, playing for D'Antoni, lets him go balls to the wall, full speed, as hard as he can throughout the pace of the game, and he can just play as hard as he can to do what he wants with the basketball.
And I think the main thing is that he wins the ball games. The Knicks are winning.
Right.
Just like Tebow, as long as you win, there's nothing you need to change. It doesn't even matter how you win, Big Red.
Right.
As long as the Knicks are winning, with Jeremy Lin at point guard, he will stay there and they will be successful.
Right.
Because they're winning.
He's BEAUX, Bo Hebert.